You are looking at Board 4 live from the IVN in Havertown, USA. Along with Chris Treadway, I am Bill Kelly.
And this is Shuffleboard Night in America. Thanks, everyone, for joining us. I want to wish you all a happy holidays and soon to be a prosperous new year, hopefully, for everyone. Thank you all that have joined us so far in our inaugural season. This is our 4th episode, and it'll be our final of the year. We think we got a great matchup for you guys tonight of Table Shuffleboard between a pair of high school sweethearts and a pair of Ivy favorites here. Kel, why don't you tell us who's playing?
All right, terrific. Thanks, Chris. Leading off here, we have from Overbrook with a .73 rating, PNW champion, North American Shuffleboard champion, Faith Dewees. She'll be shooting from the A end. Her partner, also from Overbrook and a PNW champion, runner-up North American Shuffleboard champion, a .80, John Dewees. He's shooting on the B end, and they're shooting the blue weights. They will be competing against the duo from Pottstown, a rating of a 1.18, runner-up North American Shuffleboard champion and a true round-robin champion in Bourbon, Indiana, Jeannie Pachik. She is shooting the red weights. And her partner is Jim Direso from Southwest Philadelphia, a 0.75 average, Miller Lite Open champion and a Bud Shootout champion here at the Ivy. He's shooting the B end, and they are shooting the red weights.
Just picking up a little into the first frame here. Looks like Faith has got 2 pennies on the board. Comes down to the last weight for both of them. And Jeannie with the first hammer of the game, thrown against 2 ones. Might be a little excited. Yes, it is. John and Faith open up with 2 points on a steal. The format of tonight's game will be a best out of 3 matchup, games to 15 points.
That's a good board by Faith without hammer. 2 equidistant pennies that Jeannie either had to hit one or wrap it.
Jim's starting to test the distance of the board here. And a sure strike by John. John with a nice stick. Jim comes to the board facing a 2 down with his hammer. Looks like he's going in there hoping for a stick. He goes a little wide. Gives up another 2 to the Deweeses.
The difference in that shot was the Ruiz spanned it, and Jimmy Direso came from the rail.
Yep. Just took a little bit too far off to the right side of the board for him. Score is now 4-0. John and Faith Dewees. It's early here, but going down 4 makes you really want to get something working in this frame, I think. But Faith is having none of that. And Jeannie gets both with the combo. Still a real good defensive frame here by Faith. Looking to get that 2, but stops just shy. Jeannie coming down. She looks like she's going to get in, and she does for 2. Red's on the board. Score is now 4-2. The Deweeses are up. That was a big 2 right there.
Sure was. Looks like the span shot is the most effective shot so far tonight. John with hammer this frame, his second weight, looking at an open board. It starts to play a little short game here.
Jim chasing after that short weight. Just misses it on the left-hand side. John keeping up with the short weights, and now Jim's got his last weight here. What would you do here, Cal?
I'd go for that combo. It's good effort.
Good effort, but unfortunately he sticks to front weight. John coming up to board with his hammer, and he's already got one working.
That one miss is sitting on the board right there. If you offer John Dewees 3 there, I think he sticks it.
You can't offer him 3 there. But he may. Oh. That weight burned a lot of speed around the logo. 2 more times. Dewees has moved to 6, with Jim and Jeannie still at 2.
Pennies there.
Jeannie finally finding the end of the board in this game. That's her first 3 that she's got down there. Faith with a big stick. 3 more times.
Gotta get over. Never hit that.
Real nice roll by Jeannie. Looks like they got a 4 working now. Almost looked for a second there, Kel, like that wasn't going to get over.
Wasn't sure it would cross the board, but Jeannie Pachik knows what she's doing. Touche.
These guys are putting on a little exhibition here on how to stick a weight. We've kept sticking these, and now we've walked it all the way back to a 2. She's right on it. Sticks for a 2.
These 4 players know each other extremely well, as you can see on the board. They've been playing with and against each other for about 7 or 8 years, going through Division 3, Division 2, and now Division 1 together. These guys match up really well.
This is starting to look familiar. Looks like he caught the rail on that one. Oh, no. Jim misses that 3. John's going to be looking to protect this now. John looking to protect this again.
Over there it is.
Tough break for Jim there. John with 3 working his last weight. That's what happens when you miss just 1 weight sometimes. John looking to capitalize.
Sorry, disappointing you, Ray. Wasn't a greedy bastard that time. I was trying to be a greedy bastard, buddy.
What set that whole frame up was the hit and stick of the 3 on the first weight John Dewees threw. And Jimmy was chasing ever since.
Yeah, well, that's the danger of throwing a deep weight up on your first weight. You can get stuck and be chasing someone else.
Tonight's officials for the event, the best of 3. Number 1 official is Brian Pachik. Number 2 official is Ray Wariski. And the 3rd official is J.J. Price. And mentioning Brian Pachik is heading our rules committee for 2025. We're putting together our own set of rules, which will follow all the TSA guidelines with a couple tweaks for our in-house activities. Brian's heading a board of 5, and we'll have our new rules released in January 2025.
Jeannie with a beautiful wrap in there. In football, they call that the I formation. Looking for the double combo here. Oh.
Faith threw her first weight off the board, maybe throw the second weight off too.
Yeah. Jeannie looking to get a little cover in, maybe get deeper. Cover's more important here. Big stick here for Faith. Looks like there's a little bit of window of opportunity here.
Let's go!
And right in there. Great shot by Faith.
The span shot has been real generous for all shooters tonight. That's a brilliant stick.
Jeannie right back at it.
Jeannie Pachik right back. Two different ways to get to the same spot. One went from the right with a span, the other went from the left on the rail.
Just like glue, she decided to stick around there. Takes 2, moves to 6. Still chasing the Deweeses. They're at 10. Jim puts the weight in a tough spot on the edge. And John just misses it going off short of that weight.
That's Deweese's first miss of the game.
Jim's going to try to cover that, but it's a difficult one to get to stick on that rail. Got a little more speed on it this time. Looks good. And stick and roll into a 2.
Are we sure his rating's correct?
Jim's able to get that one off. John looks like he's trying to go in on this weight. Have a little fun here. And gets in for a 3. That 3's got a pretty nice cover on it.
Yeah, and he's got hammer.
Jim trying to come straight down the rail. Might need to get lucky. It's a tough one. And once again, John's going to be lagging with 3 working on the board with his hammer. Another 2 closes out this game.
Let's go, baby.
They are a tough combo to beat when Faith and John play together.
There we go.
5 times.
John puts it in 5 times. And that is the end of our first game. All right. And now we're going to take a brief 5 to 10 minute break while we get the board waxed. And our players get to take a break. And we'll be back with you shortly. And welcome back to Game 2 of our Episode 4 in Shuffleboard Night in America. We got John and Faith Dewees, who took the first game 15-6 against Jim Direso and Jeannie Pachik. Just starting with frame 1 of the second game now. Hammer switch from the first game, so Faith will have hammer this time around.
That last game was 15-6. John Dewees had 13 of the points. With his 3 hammers, he had a 2-4-5. Okay, a little bit about tonight's equipment. As you can see, we're using the Venture 1.5-inch board, the Venture board with the Federation T4 wax. Always plays well. And let's see here. Faith and John Dewees are using their Fed 16s with the metal caps. Their Federation caps. They weigh in at 338.9 grams. The red team, Jeannie and Jimmy Direso, are using Fed 16s as well, weighing 339.8 grams, but they have Olympic weight tops, the metal caps from Olympic. And as you can see, we have some Olympic signs here hanging, and there's Vern Gonzalez with the Los Toros weights. Just a little plug. The Miller Lite Open in April, we're trying to run on 7 boards with 2 of them outside under of a tent. Huge undertaking, and we're going to do a raffle with it. We have 31 raffle prizes, and Vern Gonzalez has taken the lead in donating a set of Los Toros weights for us to give away. So thank you, Vern Gonzalez. The Los Toros weights and 30 other prizes will be raffling off throughout the weekend, April 25th and 6th for the Miller Lite Open. All the details are in the next TSA magazine coming out in January. You know what the best part of it is?
What's that?
Close one. 20% of all the ticket sales from our raffle will be donated to Wandering Women 2025 in Exeter, California. We're hoping to sell a bunch of tickets for the Wandering Women, and we're really looking forward to the event. Just wanted to thank Vern Gonzalez from OlympicShuffleboardWeights.com and all our other sponsors for helping us pull that off this coming April.
And as Kel mentioned, the Wandering Women's Tournament's going to be held in Exeter, California this year, and that'll be during the month of September.
Oddly enough, no one's using Olympic weights, but we do have Olympic caps on the board. I have a set of Olympic wobblers, which I love and use for all my singles matches. Thanks, Vern.
So came out with a change of hammer off that first frame. Faith ended up with a close weight, but did end up going off. Jim with his second weight here after missing the first weight. John with 2 working. A little bit of a bigger target here for Jim. Jim gets that front weight, but just happens to tap the back one up a little bit, but still looking at a 1. John comes up, puts a 4 in.
That's a true game of millimeters. Faith Dewees sends her hammer down and tickles off the back for a 4. And Jim Direso sends his hammer down, skims off the red weight, and sits. Nope.
Yeah,
Not
that's
yet.
actually John's weight that's down there. So we'll see if Jim can take care of this right now. Jim kept his speed up there.
No.
Not going to get the stick he wanted probably, but it's better than having 5 on the board.
Got it. These guys are all over the end of the board.
Yeah, they're definitely dialed in tonight.
I hope Ray's paying attention.
Newsflash, he's not.
Two exciting frames resulted in a 1-0 score.
Tough miss there. Trying to get that in there just a little too much.
I think I would have done the same thing.
Well,
to
there's
put
not
one
a
in
whole
there.
lot. There's not a whole lot of other shots there. That's the best way to kind of keep your momentum going here. It's worked out well for them in the past. Jeannie trying to get past. Doesn't quite do it. We're up to 2-0. John and Faith with the lead.
Stole 2 pennies.
John going back to the short game. Waits just a little bit over the mid part of the board on the far side. Jim making up for past mistakes and getting that first short weight off the board. Now John's going to extend it a bit. John, a purveyor of Rappy Tappy. Not quite understanding what Jim was doing there. Turns around with a nice stick on the edge of the board. Jim overcorrecting there a little bit. Dumps that weight before it has a chance to hit it off. He's still got hammer, but he's making his job a lot harder here. Interesting shot there. Just trying to take up some lag lanes and make it a little harder for Jim to get down the board. Looks like Jim's going to get in there and beat one and get right on the board with 1 point. Score is now 2-1.
Had to score a penny there, at least, and that was Jimmy Direso's first span shot with the thumb.
I think he's paying attention to what everyone else has started doing on the boards. So another upcoming tournament we want to make you guys aware of. In February or in January of next year, we have the ASPA Winter Nationals being held in Samstown in Las Vegas. Those run from Tuesday, January 14th to Monday, January 20th. Ladies and gentlemen, there's something wrong here. Faith just missed a weight. There might have been a micro tremor. We don't know. She very rarely misses two in a row, though. Jeannie tried to get in there. Clipped her own weight. Still only one working. Faith with the stick around. She does have hammer here, so let's see what Jeannie does with this last weight.
An excellent crowd for our holiday episode 4. We have about 25 at the bar, and we have 20 more in the other room doing a round robin. So a real spirited effort here the week before Christmas. Thanks to everyone for participating and showing up tonight, supporting our event.
Faith lagging a 1 with her hammer. She'll be going to Ray Horiski for her medial training.
4 pennies and a change hammer so far this game.
A little bit different than the last game so far. It's another tough miss by Jim.
Stopped walking. John's tough in these situations. Can only hope he misses the block.
He did leave it open. Kept his speed up real nice on that shot. One of the challenges with shooting Jersey right now on this board that Jim's running into is you really got to control your speed or it's going to walk all over the board on you.
Jimmy Direso rarely misses twice. He's a union iron worker. He's 100 feet in the air most days. Sticking that weight's nothing.
That man's erected more buildings than we'll ever see. See just that difference between that easy, smooth span shot.
Floated it right in there. Great shot, John Dewees.
John with a 2-in-1 work, and this is going to be Jim's last weight, and he has the hammer. And Jim with a nice stick. He's hoping for a roll to a 3. But I think it's going to be a 2. 2 times, we break even at 3. We have a game to 12, ladies and gentlemen.
Well played frame by both those gentlemen. As we shoot from the A end here, I just want to give a quick shout out to the Maryland VFW down at Port Deposit and St. Gabe's over in Pottstown and the Rec Room in Phoenixville and here at the Ivy. Together in all 4 of our Toys for Tots tournaments, we collected well over 325 toys. They were great events and they were supported by everybody in the Mid-Atlantic. And to collect that many toys, you need to gather gifts from people who didn't play shuffleboard. So we had a lot of people who donated to the cause and did not participate in our tournament. So thanks to everyone who played and thanks to everyone who didn't play for all the toys from all 4 venues. Thank you very much.
Faith threaded the needle right there, and not in the good way.
That's a rare miss from Faith Dewees. Perfect.
Another real nice block by Jeannie. Although I have a feeling that right now Faith's just going to try to get something off the board. Clips out the front. This is going to be both of the Ladies last weight. Faith does have hammer on this frame.
Never comfortable drawing against 3.
You shouldn't be.
Might go for the middle one. Hope for a combo. I'd come off the left rail, though.
You don't want to give up 3 here, but there's no reason why you wouldn't want to get a little aggressive and just try to beat 2, maybe get beat 3. She's going to try to go for the combo on those. And that's going to be the frame. Jeannie Pachik with a big steal. That's going to give Jim and Jeannie their first lead of the night.
4 straight points. 2 last frame, 2 this frame. John had a 2-4-5 last game with hammer. This is his first hammer tonight in this game.
Boys continue to keep a clean board here.
John protected his hammer, and it pays off.
Yep. Another crucial miss by Jim. John getting that in there. Looks like it's going to be lagging a 2 for a total of 3 points, putting them back in the lead at 6-5.
When he's on his game, he's one of the best in here. Almost did it again. The double tap.
Well, she's still got a couple chances at it.
You know, these 4 shooters have 53 years shuffleboard experience playing the game.
That's a lot for so young. Heck, they still got all their hair.
There's a better block.
Jeannie with a high degree of difficulty to hit the 1. It's going to be Faith's last weight. Jeannie does have hammer. Faith looking to take up some board. Jeannie with a great lag. It looked a little hot coming down the board, but it ended up pulling up in the 3 parking spot.
Jeannie stole 2 last frame and hammer 3 this frame.
Jim opening up with a weight that looked like it was going to go a little further, but stopped dead for a 1. Another upcoming tournament we'd like to talk about here is we have the Tony Appel President's Day Tournament. That's being held out in Arizona this upcoming February, starting on February 13th, running through the 16th. Special note there, Dwayne Maxwell will be inducted into the Arizona Hall of Fame, so that should be a fun time. Dwayne's always a keg of laughs.
Dwayne Maxwell, we've heard of him, haven't we?
Once or twice.
He's been to the Ivy.
Loves the Vikings.
He has hammer. He wants to go in there bad.
Oh, he's going in. He's just trying to find which door he's going to open. I stand corrected.
Immense discipline from John Dewees. Even his wife is surprised.
Jim throwing his weight off. He's going to make sure that Jeannie gets hammer coming back, but this is dangerous, giving John an open board to lag on. He can lag a 3 out of nothing. Gave that weight a chance. Might be a little too excited. And we got to change a hammer.
Little life here for the team in red.
Enjoying their largest lead of the night and going into this frame with hammer. I think they're hoping to capitalize here. Very nice stick with Jeannie. We've seen a lot of frames start like this. Open board. Both of them have 2 weights left.
Nobody wants to get wrapped playing deep weights. Thought maybe Jeannie would try and get in there with hammer.
She did lag in there really beautifully a few frames before. I'm a little surprised at that too, and it's one of those times where playing conservative kind of bit you because you missed that shot and now you're behind the 8 ball. But she still got hammer.
Hammer cures a lot of sins.
Oh, Jeannie giving a little bit of help to the enemy there. Bumping her up to a 2. We got a tie game at 8.
That's a shame because it was the right speed.
It was actually a really great shot by Faith to block the middle of the board there. It forced Jeannie to make a little bit different shot than she normally would have made to get that wrap in there. Jimmy's still having a hard time on that side of the board hitting those weights consistently.
Finally got hammer out of John Dewees' hands, and then a miss.
John looking to add a little elevation to his weight, and a nice tap. Moves it to a 2. John with a 1 and 2 sitting right on top of each other. Jim still does have hammers. So this is going to be a big frame for him to get rid of those weights if he can.
Left-hand rail, maybe?
I think he made a real good adjustment there. Great shot by Jim Direso.
Jim Direso.
He's been working that right hand all night. He hasn't really come down that left rail too hard yet. Turns out it worked out for him. We got Jim's hammer here. Going to be looking to get past that one. Is that going to stop for him? It will not. Good go by Jim, but ultimately just a little too much juice in that smoothie.
Yeah, he did the right thing. He didn't leave it short and gave it every chance at a 3 or a 4.
Well, and he only gave up one, and he put the hammer back in Jeannie's very capable hands. Nice stick and roll by Jeannie. Uh-oh, that one got away from her. That's the danger sometimes on this board with those weights. We'll see if Jeannie can put a nice block on top of this. Sometimes that's just as hard as hitting these weights. Faith with a real nice power rail shot to get that deep weight off.
Great recovery. Jeannie going in.
Yeah, puts the weight pretty much right back where it was.
Jeannie's going to make her do it again.
It's a rough one, just clipped out the front weight. Jeannie's going to have a 3 working and her hammer. Going to throw it in there soft and take the 4.
Great frame by Jeannie. She has 3 boards in her basement. You know she can lag. Great shot. John has hammer there. That's his first miss. Took a little bit off it.
John was over with that long combo there, but didn't quite work out. It's about as nice as a block you're going to get on that weight, I think. Jim took up a good amount of board with that shot. Oh. John with almost an absolutely beautiful lag down the middle between those. Fortunately, it just went off. That's going to put Jim and Jeannie on 14. We're at 14-9 in the second game of Episode 4 in Shuffleboard Night in America. Jeannie just throwing that weight off, keeping a clear board. She's going to be looking to get that hammer back over to Jim with as few points on the board as possible.
The first game was 4 full frames. We just completed our 7th full frame here.
Just 2 weights left. Faith does have hammer. Jeannie just going to put one short one up.
Game on board.
Faith trying to get in there. Oh. And that's the end of game 2 with Jim and Jeannie coming away with a 15-9 win. That'll take us to our rubber match, game 3. We'll take a little break here to get the board waxed and get some drinks in. And then we'll be back with everybody. All right, now that Jim has found his beer, we are ready to start game 3.
Fun to see a rubber match there. Jeannie and Jim really grinded it out, 7.5 frames, and pulled out the victory. Jeannie's Pachik's last 5 frames of that game were a 2-3-0-4-1. 10 total points to win 15-9.
I'd like to give a big thanks to John and Faith and Jim and Jeannie for being a part of our last episode of the year. Really putting on a good show for us tonight, and they're really great shuffleboard players and really good friends of ours. So thank you. John and Faith did win the hammer for the rubber game. So this is going to be Faith's third weight as Jeannie steps up to take her last one. Faith going back in there. This time it's going to stick around for 4 times. Big opening frame by Faith. As you can tell, John is excited about that.
That's a heck of a way to start a rubber match. Open board 4.
Hey, definitely gets you and your partner in the game early.
If you're Jimmy Direso, what do you want to do? Just cut it in half? Get a deuce?
Oh, right now you got to wait and see what the board gives you and what your opponent gives you. It's too early in the game to panic right now. clean board, and they both have 1 weight left. Jim does have hammer after that 4 that Faith just lagged in the previous frame. John opting to throw this off. There's absolutely no reason to take hammer away from Faith at this point. See if Jim can get a tally up here. It's important to get it deep, but I think it's even more important to get at least a point on the board here, Cal. And a 1 is what he comes away with. Red's on the board. Score after 2 frames. We got John and Faith 4, Jim and Jeannie 1.
He gave it a chance, just didn't make it.
It had to be on. You can't go. You can't give up hammer and go in 0-4. Faith a little too good there. Faith with her hammer here. Probably looking to lag past these two. See what she can make out of it. Her blue is behind the red. Faith almost gets that 4 one more time.
She loves that right-hand span. Every shot that frame was the right-hand span, whether she was hitting or drawing.
And another upcoming event we'd like to make you aware of. Another President's Day tournament. This one's in Dallas, Texas. It's the Williams Mountain President's Day Memorial Tournament. That starts on Monday, February 17th and runs through Sunday, the 23rd of February. And another shout out here. A good friend of mine, Don Baxter, is going to be presented with the For the Love of the Game award at this tournament on Friday night. So congratulations to him. And if you can get a chance, come out and cheer him on. got a 1. Jim taking a crack at this weight again. Another real good block by John. It's hard to get to that weight where it's sitting right now.
It's a real nice block. You have to come down to left rail. It's a finicky shot, but that's the only way to get there.
To be honest with you, if I'm him, I'm probably not going to try to go after that blue 8.
This is a big spot in the game.
Well, the big thing right now is that John has 3 working and hammer. So you've either got to ensure that one of those weights is out of there, or make it so that he can't get to yours. Jim, like luck, did take the blocker off there, but unfortunately missed that weight.
Between shots, maybe.
Yeah, it did look like he was between shots. John not getting too greedy there, walking away with 4 times. Big frame for the Deweeses.
They complement each other well. She gets the 4 with hammer going one way. He gets the 4 coming back the other way with hammer.
That puts John and Faith at 8, Jim and Jeannie at 2.
A festive night at the Ivy. We got 30 people at the bar and 20 more playing a round robin. And I think every employee is here tonight.
And the best thing is we're blessed with Ray being right next to us.
Did Jimmy Direso hire a plant? I think Jimmy hired her.
Might have happened. Looks like we'll have to be improving event security here at future Shuffleboard Night in America events.
JJ works days. He's not familiar with night security.
Faith with a real nice
Up
hit
8-2.
and roll.
There you go.
Oh. That's a tough one for Jeannie. She stuck it. It was a 2, but it did walk back. It ends up being a 1. That's going to move them to 3. They trail John and Faith 8-3.
Bartender extraordinaire Liz Creighton Elliott might be overserving the crowd, based on what I can hear.
About the only thing they're being overserved with by Liz is holiday joy, Kel. Jim trying to pass it, get a little action going here. I think John might have thumbed that a little bit.
Relying on John Dewees to miss. It's happened once tonight, and it just happened again.
This is a real big wage for Jim. A nice block here, and you could change the course of this game. Well, if anyone wanted a juicy target, there's one. John's not missing again.
A lot of confidence in that span shot.
Double hit and a stick. It's a great shot by John Dewees.
Someone said a long time ago, the block is the toughest weight to shoot in shuffleboard, making a block.
Jim misses that last weight. John's going to be lagging with 2 open on the board. John gets just close, but that is a 1. Takes 3, moves them to 11. They're up by 8, 11-3.
Yeah, he did all he's supposed to do there. Jeannie Pachik at the end of the board again.
Well, right now, that's the only place they want to be. This ain't no time for staying in the shallow end. Faith with a marksman stick.
She's deadly with that right hand span.
Just 2 weights left for both of them. Jeannie does have the hammer. Jeannie with the 1 on her lag moves them to 4. Pretty sure John's going to lag here.
Heavy.
Oh, got a little juicy on it.
I don't know. Going in on the first weight there, John has a 4 with hammer and a 3 with hammer his last 2 frames. I don't know. You need to go in on that.
Thing is, though, John's comfortable with lagging. And he's comfortable with hitting behind a lag, too. Well, I think it might follow him there to the old graveyard. It did its work, but it still ended up hitting Brookline. John going to adjust his lag and go in again. Looks like it's a little better speed. Oh.
These guys are a little excited to close out this game. Going to be Jim's last weight here. John does have hammer. Jim taking up a lot of board there. See what John does here. He could go for an easy stick for the 1, but we'll see if he tries to break through there. He does have some wiggle room to play with. Draw through the Reds 2 times.
John gets a 2 there. Last game, John had that same lag through the middle and ended up going off. This time he comes in with 2.
puts them on 13. It's moving this game pretty far out of reach right now.
It's a lot of confidence in your lag to go between those two weights. I would have come from the right rail to the left corner. Great shot, John Dewees. 4-3-2 last 3 frames with hammer.
Uh-oh.
Let that float way down in here or right up here.
Looks like Jeannie's setting up for some action. Oh. Jeannie trying to come around, not having good luck there. Just didn't kick back enough at the end.
Try that cross.
She hasn't used the right rail often, but 2 great shots the last 2.
Jeannie trying to make some magic happen there, just didn't work out.
One block, and that's the game.
All right. Right now we have Jeannie's last weight. She's going to try to get a double combo off of that. Didn't work out. And that is the game. John and Faith Dewees are our winners of Shuffleboard Night in America, Episode 4. I can't think of 4 people on the East Coast we would have liked to close out this year with better. So congratulations to both teams. On behalf of Shuffleboard Night in America and our family here, we'd like to wish you all happy holidays, prosperous new year, and we will see you next year with Season 2. Thank you.